First things first, you will see this link in your email or in the portal if you are a Music Millionaire member. However, it is simply distribution.music-millionaires.com when you are uploading your music. Now, to alleviate any concern, let me firstly tell you that even though you do not see secure currently on our end, this is absolutely 100% secure because we just had a subdomain pointed to the actual private and secure portal link that they provided us. So it is 100% secure. And what we're going to do is talk about how to upload your music for YouTube content, ID, and also distribution if you want to get it on other platforms. So bear with me as I log in. Now, first thing I want to say to you guys is I'm using Google Chrome. You can also try and use Firefox. It is compatible with Firefox and Google Chrome. However, I do know because Firefox is updating your system that you don't always or not able to always log in. However, I put in some demo tracks instantly already for you guys to see that what your dashboard will look like once it's in. As far as latest releases, I didn't want to just be a plain dashboard. But when you do log in, the first thing that you will notice is that you'll come to your dashboard, and your dashboard will basically give you all of your information, overall streams and all of the most pertinent information that you cannot find in other distribution platforms online. I guarantee you guys, I've been through all of them and this is the best. So, you know, this will give you your top shops, top label, and your label will be, from me, I can view who all actually music is streaming and how it's doing. I can actually track the progress from my end, but you will be able to do the same thing. And so this is your dashboard. If you was doing video, it'd be video, film, or ebook. Again, this is UMG's portal, Germany, and it's very, very rich, and I like it. So the first things first, you would need to go in here and go into content. You would click on audio, and we want to go and firstly create a label. And what and creating a label basically does this. It's not saying that you're necessarily a label, but when you are uploading music to these platforms like iTunes, Spotify, and whatnot, they expect to see a label name or publishing name, and then you can simply make it your production company name if you choose. But you need to have a label here, and so you just basically outline your label information. I'm not typing anything really. Now once you put your production or label name in here, go down to customer, which will be you. Make sure your name is highlighted and clicked on, and then the GVL label code, you can basically bypass that and then save it, and we go on to the next step. So the first thing that you want to do, guys, when you're doing or uploading your track for YouTube, or if you want to distribute it, will be go to create a track. Now the first thing that is evident is that you will need a WAV file. WAV files, simply for this reason, WAV files are much more higher in quality, and when you are submitting your music to other distribution portals or platforms like iTunes, Spotify, and the rest, a lot of them will compress it on their own into an MP3. So if you uploaded an MP3 and then had it compressed again into an MP3 based on their algorithm or whatever software they're using, depending on whether it's Apple or Spotify, it will just make the quality of your music sound bad. So you need a WAV file. You also want to make sure that you have it mixed at least halfway decent, because they do have quality of standards. Now that's if you are utilizing the complete distribution platform. In other words, if you are sending your music toward Spotify, iTunes, or whatnot. But if you're simply doing this for us to capture your YouTube monetization, then it does not technically matter. I will still make sure I have the best sound that I can, but you still will need a wave in order to upload. However, it's real simple, guys. Here you need an ISRC, which you can request simply when you click on it. It says, do you want to request an IRC from our system? You click yes. You title the song. Please do not use caps if you want to do it. Let's just say, do it in that fashion, capital T or whatever your words is, but do not, all this cannot be caps, okay? Mixed version can be pretty much, it could be a full version song. You can put instrumental, or whatever it's whatever it is. So if it's a full version song, put full version. If it's an instrumental, put instrumental. Here's where your label come into play. So we already have our label set up here prior to doing this. So we're gonna put the Peacemakers, the genre, of course, and you can give it a heads up by just doing that, clicking in hip hop and setting up alternative or whatever type of hip hop track you have, or whatever genre this may be. This is not stuck with genre. Here you want to put what country you're in, all right, and the language, of course. And again, as you see, once you start typing, guys, it will pretty much auto populate what you want. Now the category, we're just going to leave it category A. There is nothing they've told me about this that says it has to be A, B, or C. However, we're just going to say A because I'm going to say audio. Take this audio. Explicit lyrics, no. Now this is where it's very important as well. We're going to talk about contributing artists. So now here, if you've already predefined your artist, and let's say you are the artist, I'm just going to say SG1 because I'm the producer. What I can do is, I didn't find myself, so what I'm going to do is create my artist profile real quick. So save that. Then when you type yourself in, you'll pop up, and you want to make yourself the main artist. Okay. Now, once you do main artist, you click add. It puts you in there. Generate display name. So you see what happened up here. The track is SG1, the Peacemakers, instrumental. All the information that populated. This is your metadata, guys. This is considered metadata. Now, if you don't have something like mine where it requires me to have capital in my name, you want to then, put your name in that field like that. It could be your producer name as well, but make sure that it is not all caps. Okay, again, they will reject it if you are sending it toward stores, if you're sending it toward platforms. If it's just YouTube, then there is no problem. Now, there is no need for me to add any of this information because it will be populated once the music comes up. We're going to save this, what we have so far, and notice it said errors. What errors? Well, because track authors, we have to have track authors. So the thing is, as you notice that it said producer, but we need composer. So now we're going to add our composer in here, and there will be and if you notice just then, there will be a poop load of possible outcomes from composers, and I'm assuming this is UMG pulling from their database of artists. Okay, and you notice it says please enter composer, please enter publisher. So with that, the publisher will be, of course, the Peacemakers. Gonna click the Peacemakers in here because we're already in there. Or you can put publisher as your own, as you. It doesn't matter. Okay, and now comes the audio file, which is real simple. You select your WAV file. You find your WAV file somewhere. Let's see if I can find a WAV anywhere here. I don't know if I have a WAV. Alright, I'm just going to click on this and upload it. It's not even long enough to be a WAV file. However, once that is done, guys, we go back through, you check your main information. You got your track information, you got your composer and publisher enlisted, you got your audio file. Click save. Very important, guys, that you do this for your music. Now that music is up, it's called track 6-7 WAV. We go into create bundle. Well, I apologize. We're going to create bundle. Now, once we get to this screen here, we are doing an album, a single. Catalog number. .001, if that's what it is for you. 001, and I normally abbreviate SG for my artist, and then so I know it's the Peacemakers Media 001 SG. Now I can request an EIN, which is a European, oh my God, I think it's a European audio number or something of that nature. I apologize. You can Google it, but it's basically a UPC code, identifying number, okay, which is the equivalent. The title of this track and song, I don't remember what we said the track was called at the time, but we can say, because your metadata has to match up, okay guys, so make sure whatever you title it, the metadata matches up completely. So we're going to say SG or S lowercase g beat volume 1. Doesn't have to be this, it can be the title of your beat. The whole purpose of, again, if you are doing this for YouTube content fingerprinting from us, it doesn't matter. It's going to identify it however you say it is, but it will definitely put all of this information and fingerprint your music from that point on. Again, your label, genre of music, and I know you're saying, why do I have to do all this again? Because now you're actually getting ready to submit it, whereas the other metadata was directly to that particular track. This is actually needed because this is the more detailed information that is going to the distribution platforms. Now instantly, because I have my label already set up in the system, you will notice that it automatically populated the copyright information, and this can be changed as well if there's a production, if you want your name as the producer versus your company. All right, now all this stuff can be done when you create your label. You can create your label first and then go in and you are as you the artist and attach your label to your artist, which is you or this producer. However, it's real simple. Again, we're selecting our artist. I'm in there, so we are attaching me to it as the main artist. Click add, generate display name again. Now this is very important because UMG has let me know that if you are doing a release, you want to give yourself time. Do not try and upload it today and then release it today. Give yourself at least 5 days release date, Sunday or something of that nature, or when you may be planning on releasing it on YouTube. Do that. That will allow it time that if there's any mistakes or things you need to kick back, it doesn't force you into a situation where your song is being released and something happens. It also allows them time to be able to let us know if there's an issue with the track for whatever reason before it's released. So make sure that you give yourself a week or two. Do not release it the same day. I don't think 72 hours is a bad idea. I think you can actually do a 72-hour release, but I'm not clear on that as well either. So, but they didn't say you couldn't. Now, if any of you are familiar with Beatport, your music will be put on Beatport if you request it to be. All right. This also allows you, but here's the thing. I apologize. With Beatport, you have to have everything with that. You have to have artwork. You have to fill out more information. This is a pre-order and start date. Okay, so you can have pre-orders populated. So if your release date was on the 24th, let's say we wanted to do it on the 20th, of course, taking into consideration what I've already told you. And if you wanted to do a digital cancellation, which I don't see why, because we are not going to charge you per year to have your music up like other platforms. I don't see why you would want to cancel it. Now, streaming allowed, yes. Download allowed. It's up to you. Depending on how you're distributing the music, you can put yes. Audio previews during pre-order, yes. Explicit lyrics, no. All tracks are sold bundle only means no track can be bought separately. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, because we're doing a single. Okay, and now what we want to do is we want to go into release information. You can skip past this part. Artwork is a definite, guys. You want to put some artwork up there so that way when your music is being distributed to other platforms, it will be available in that platform with some artwork. But if you're doing YouTube, it's not necessarily needed. But I would just basically use a template of something that you plan on using and then go on it from there. And it tells you the minimum pixel format, which is 1500 by 1500, which basically is square, but they recommend 2400 by 2400. All right. If you do use artwork, guys, please do not put any logos in your artwork. Stick to what you have. So whatever you're going to title that beat or track or that single that you're releasing on all major platforms, make sure that the artwork matches up with that. So if you're saying, you know, like I put SG Beats, make sure that whatever that title of that track is actually correlates with your artwork. And the reason why is because Apple iTunes and Spotify and certain platforms are sticklers about that, and they will kick it out if they notice that there is an inconsistency in the metadata versus the work that they are viewing. All right, now this section right here, the PDF section, is for if you decide to utilize the iTunes PDF booklet, and they help you with a simple booklet specification if you decide to do that. We're not going to do that, so I'm not worrying about it. Track list is only important if you are utilizing an album or EP. If you're doing an album or EP, then your track list is where you will be able to basically toggle your music up or down or how you want it to play. But here what we are going to do is we are going to add my music on there, even though there's nothing really there. Okay, so you basically add any music that you have within the system, which is where you have it loaded here. You click add. Now your music is loaded and attached to this information here. Now, as you see, it loads here. It says audio files loaded. Okay. There's nothing I have to do here unless I wanted to change that WAV file, which I'm not. All right, so I'm not changing that WAV file. Distribution channels. This is the important part, guys. Listen up. So here you have your download channels, you have your streaming channels. Now again, if you plan on doing any and all of these, you have to follow everything that I've told you to the letter, because again, you don't want your music kicked out. But in this instance, we are only using YouTube. Now, if for instance, you see YouTube art tracks, do not use YouTube art tracks. From my understanding with UMG, it only creates issues. So use YouTube only right here, guys. The one that just says YouTube, and that's it, because we're doing content ID. All right. If you could have easily, let's clear it. You can click all and it will automatically check all of the channels for you. So let's clear that, because we're not doing that. We're just doing YouTube content ID so that you guys can make money off your type beats and things of that nature. Now I want to make sure that we're clear on this as well. When you are doing type beats, you want to make sure that there is no sample in there. No conflicting sample that will allow any other record label or producer to say, hey, that's my music, or YouTube content ID to flag your music because it recognizes a pattern or algorithm or something from another track that it fingerprinted. So make sure you have your music clear of samples. Here we're going to go territories, and I'm just going to say we can do world US. You can do the world, which it will select all of them for you, and it's basically self-explanatory here. Of course, we want our music to be distributed all over the YouTube universe. And then if you were doing distribution, which all of this is, it has to be done regardless. You have to input this information, even though we're only doing YouTube content ID. We're just going to click the digital 149 euro, and basically whatever that equates to when it comes to the US. I know 149 is much higher in value than the US currency right now. I don't know what the conversion rate will be by the time you watch it, but just click that. We are working on making this where it's valued in monetization, so it's easier for you guys to select. But worst case scenario, you know you're going to get the most for your money regardless. And if you notice, this says digital 149, and these are basically just pre-selected for you guys, and these are different prices that you could select for. But because we're not going to be distributing this on any other platform except for YouTube, and because this is just something we have to check within the UMG system, we're going to click the 149. Now this is sales facts. This is once you go back and you edit and you want to figure out more information, apply information, PR company, and this explains it real quick for you guys so that you'll know. You don't know what just happened, but this explains everything that you need to know here. Not relevant because of what we're doing right now. All right, but this will be more metadata for you guys if you want to add and submit it. Once we are done there, it's real simple validating your music. So when you click validate, this will let you know if there is any errors that we have to be concerned about. Okay, and here you see it says product has no territories. Please select territories for distribution. EAN and UPC are empty. Bundle needs at least one barcode. Copyright year is not 4-digit value. And what this basically is saying, guys, is that I did not save any of this information before I got there. So let's go back and save it. Once we save it and it's in the system, it will say success. All right. And the reason why it's important once you go through all this stuff, once you get down to pricing, to click save is exactly what I showed you. Now we're going to go back to validate, and now we're going to validate it again, and let's see what happens. It says product not valid. Why? It says artwork file doesn't exist. Please re-upload. So there you have it. Also tells us that the audio file is missing. So just follow these instructions, guys. This will basically tell you what you need to do. But once this is done, once you go and validate and it tells you, hey, everything is fine, everything is good, then we want to click publish. Once you have a validated project, you want to click publish. And once you click publish, it will be sent to the UMG basically gatekeepers who will make sure that you did follow every dot and every I, and if you did so, they will basically send it through the system pretty much the same day. All right, guys, but if not, then you'll be hearing from me or my team members saying, hey, you need to change some things because these are the errors that we got back. Okay, guys, of course, again, these are the systems that you have to follow here. Okay, these are, content. Oh, excuse me, I apologize. Now let me go through here. So once we created that song, we can go through content, we can go through upcoming releases, and we can see what we have. So here we'll basically see we're already done some test runs here. So it shows me how many products I have. So if, say for instance, you want to go in because you made a mistake somewhere and you want to rectify your mistake, you can go in here and you can edit. You can see the delivery status, you can clone it, or you can delete it. And in our situation, I'm going to delete this particular product because I had no intentions nor wish to put that out anyway. All right, but when you do have a successful product, you will see this right here, published, and you can go in here and then you can see the delivery status of your particular work, and it will tell you, as I said before, I preloaded some things into the system so that you can see what it looks like. This is telling you that our information has been queued. Okay, so it tells you the status of all of these different platforms and that it's queued for insertion. All right, even though I do know that some of these platforms are pretty much not going to restart insertions until after the holidays, this is still letting me know what the status of it is in their system. Okay, guys. Now with that, we can pretty simply close out. Upcoming releases. If we had upcoming releases that was previously inserted for a time and date, this would give us our updated release or our upcoming release and when it's supposed to be dropped. Let's see here. This stuff is more analytical for us, or masters for us. Analytics will allow us, once you come in, to see your statements, basically what you'll be receiving as far as your royalties, how your music is trending, which is very important, guys, because other distribution platforms don't offer you this. This tells you how your music is trending, where it's trending, and where it is doing its best. These are very important for you to understand what your music is doing, so that way you can either replicate what you're doing or choose another option, another way to come and do your business. Chart tracking is just that. It tracks you on the charts, basically charts your music to find out what you're doing. You know what I mean? Again, very important, along with your sales report. And that's pretty much it, guys. We go back to the dashboard, and that's it. If there is any information that we have or UMG has for you, then you will find that in your mailbox here. And then when you see that, there's a message waiting for you. Okay, so you go in there and you check it out. All right, guys, it's SG1 again. Appreciate you guys, and apologize for this being so long and detailed out, but I wanted to make sure that, guys, you had a way to be able to track and understand how to upload your music for the YouTube Content ID system. All right, peace and blessings. If you have any questions, email my team at distribution@music-millionaires.com. We'll do the best that we can to help you out, guys.